Hey y'all, hey, good morning y'all. I hope everybody's doing well. This is the tea in the morning. I want to welcome y'all to this live video this morning. This video is talking about addiction in the family, and it could be with the addiction with the family or a friend as well. The reason why I'm coming to you all with this particular video this morning, last night we had some craziness going on. I guess I put it that way. I stay inside of an apartment building. And one of the people downstairs, a family member of mine used to date, and they just broke up recently, and my uncle moved out and that kind of thing. But his ex, of course, is still in the building. Of course, I say hi to her, speak to her, that kind of thing. There's no issues there. But she's a heavy drinker, and last night I guess she must either blacked out, fell asleep, I'm not sure, whatever it is, and had some food on the stove cooking, so it was almost about to set fire to the stove. It was so much smoke, and it was just ridiculous. What is it called? The smoke detectors was going off, and I had to call the fire department. And it just brought me back to, of course, just thinking about how we have a lot, not, I can't say a lot, but we have some folks in our families, our friends that we may know, or folks that we may know in our environment that may have issues with alcohol addiction or drug addiction or gambling addiction or some other type of addiction. I guess I put it that way. That's, of course, causing harm to those around us. Around them. Just keep in mind that when somebody does have an addiction, because I know my uncle, we did call him yesterday. He did come to take her back to his place to, of course, I guess so she could sleep in that kind of thing, because it was so full of smoke, nobody could stay there. I guess I put it that way, which was nice of him because some folks won't do that, but that was definitely nice of him. But just for y'all to just understand, like I said, when it comes to addiction, because both of my parents were, of course, addicted to drugs and that kind of thing. Crack cocaine, smoked cigarettes, drank liquor. My dad at some point got hooked on heroin, and that's what he died of, a heroin overdose, about 15 years ago or so. And like I said, when it comes to addiction, because I've always known my parents since I was maybe in grade school, maybe a little bit before that actually, known them to, of course, be addicted on some kind of substance. I guess I put it that way. And I've known others in my family, friends, in my environment, that kind of thing as well. And I just want to bring y'all this video this morning just to let you know that you can do all that you can do. You can plant seeds all day long, but that person has to understand that, and I guess take those seeds and cultivate those seeds to, of course, help themselves. I know that may sound horrible. Oh my God, you can't do this. You can't just place somebody in a rehab. I think back in the day you could. Nowadays, I don't think you can place anybody in a rehab without a court order, to my understanding. And like I said, unless they're a threat to themselves, somebody else, that kind of thing, trying to harm somebody, then you can probably get them hospitalized. But that's about as far as you can go. Those folks have to realize that they have the issue and that they're affecting everybody around them. In order for them to, of course, get help, they have to reach their rock bottom. I want to make sure that you all understand that. During the times that like I said, I have family, friends, my parents, that kind of thing. Of course, I'm telling my dad all the time, I wish you go to rehab. I wish you do this. He did go a few times. He actually, I don't know how many times, but he did go at least 5 times, I guess, to put it that way. But that never did stop the addiction. It only stopped, and that mean, I guess, for the short term period, in order for him to, of course, I guess, to make me happy or to make somebody else in the family happy because they're asking him to go to rehab or to make his job happier, that kind of thing. At some point, like I said, they have to realize, those who do have addictions, especially when it comes to drugs and alcohol, they have to be the ones to, of course, hit their rock bottom in order to, of course, go ahead and start fixing themselves. Some may not ever do that, and some will. I can't promise you your loved one will. But like I said, I just want to bring this video to you this morning and speaking to myself as well, just to give you some kind of, I guess, just some kind of word this morning about these kind of issues. Like I said, they're definitely death-defying. There's some things that go on. People are stealing money and, I guess, stealing stuff out the house to go sell to, I guess, to get drugs and that kind of thing. Yes, it's a horrible situation, but you have to be the one to decide what to do in that situation, because the one that's addicted is not going to decide at all. The only thing they're worried about, and I had to realize that growing up, because I'm like, my parents, all they want is these drugs and this thing, and they're leaving me out. I had to realize the brain chemicals, once all the drugs or the alcohol get into their system, it switches some chemicals within their brain. And of course, that's what they want. And that's what's driving them. It's not that, I'm sure they probably love me. I'm sure that. But like I said, with me just seeing them going after this high every time or getting drunk every time, that's all that I see, and that's all that I can relate to. Because I was feeling left out and feeling like I wasn't even important. And I know there's others out there that may feel the same way as well. But that's the work that you have to do as well. But like I said, in saying all that, Just realize that it's not you. They're the ones who have to, of course, be on their own path to fix themselves. I guess I put it that way. Yes, you can plant seeds. Yes, you can show them this video or anything along those lines. Something about addiction, bring home pamphlets, try to do an intervention. But until they are ready to change, they are not going to change. Yes, they may go to rehab to make you happy for that time period, that kind of thing. But that's it. Once they come back a few weeks later, they'll be right back to the same thing. I've seen it happen many a times throughout my entire life, actually. And like I said, this just hit home for me last night. Well, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. We were all up and calling the fire department and this kind of thing. I was banging on the door. And that just took me back to all those times where, well, I didn't see my dad overdose, that kind of thing, or see them drunk, passed out. I never saw them to that extent. But this just brought me back to her situation. And like I said, I just feel sorry for her. And I hope that at some point that she can get some enough oomph to get up to get some help for herself. I guess I put it that way. But like I said, until she realizes that she has an issue and that it's a problem for her and her only, not nobody else, then she's not going to worry about it. And she's going to keep down that same cycle until, I hate to say, until something happens that puts her in rock bottom or that actually harms her. Those are the only times I've ever seen anybody change, whether it's addiction of any kind, whether it's codependency, whatever it is, relationship after relationship after relationship. I've seen it all. Anytime anybody wants to change, it's always because they hit rock bottom. They're sick and tired of being sick and tired, and they see that it's, of course, causing more harm to themselves than good. And they have a horrible situation occur. Like I said, that just hit home for me because I know she was drunk and that kind of thing. And she, my uncle said that she, I guess, passes out or blocks out or something like that. And this is not the first time. This happened again last week. Luckily, he was coming over or somebody was coming over. I forgot what was going on. I think he's bringing her some more items or some things he may have had of hers or something, and happened to, of course, notice. No, it was another situation that was going on with her. That's what it was. He was coming over to assist to see whether anybody was in her apartment. Keys got lost and that kind of thing, or stolen or whatever it was. And he was coming to make sure she was at least safe. I guess I put it that way, and was able to get into her apartment. If not, they called the. They had to call and get a locksmith and that kind of thing. That's why he was coming over. And like I said, of course, there was something on the stove again. When he got there, had to wake her up again. This kind of thing, banging on the door. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I know I don't want to live in an environment like that, and we'll be out of there soon. But I'm just like, come on now. I feel sorry, like I said, for her in this situation, knowing that I know she has a lot of potential. I know that. I've seen many of folks on drugs and alcohol, very, very intelligent, have a lot of potential. But whatever happened to them, hurt people, and they hurt themselves as well. You have to realize that something happened in that person's life that pushed them to the point of using drugs or alcohol or whatever their kind of addiction is. It's probably nothing that you did. It could have been sexual abuse. It could have been physical abuse. It could have been they can't deal with the bullying or whatever it is. I don't know. Or they felt that they had no purpose on earth, or they felt that they couldn't live up to their parents' expectations. Whatever it is, there was something that triggered them, that caused them to go into that kind of mode and feel that a high or a drunk, I guess, was the only way that they can, of course, get through the day. Most times I've seen is either sexual abuse or some kind of sexual trauma, or some type of physical abuse, either witnessing it or going through it themselves is what I've seen majority of the time. Sometimes it is those who may have accidents and broke something and they have all this pain, trying to get rid of the pain. I've seen that too. People resort to the taking the prescription pills, then resort to like the cocaine and the heroin, different things to of course lessen the pain. I've seen that too. But it's not as often as the trauma and the, I guess, sexual abuse and that kind of thing, or the feeling less than. Like I said, it's not your fault. Like I said, they have to realize that when they hit rock bottom, that's when they want to change. I guess I put it that way. Or they feel the need to change. It's not because they're stealing your money or they're stealing your items to go sell for drugs. And it's not during that time at all. It's only when they hit rock bottom or something drastic has to happen in order for them to say, oh my God, I shouldn't be doing this. And it's not just because you ask them to stop and do this and do that. Some of them may stop. You may do an intervention. People may come in, try to give them love, show them love, and try to get them to go to rehab. But that doesn't work most times. Like I said, you shouldn't beat yourself up about these things, but you have to be the one to decide What are you going to allow in your space and in your environment, in your household, whatever it is? Luckily, I don't have anybody in my household that's on drugs or drinking. None of us drink or do drugs, anything like that, smoke or anything like that at all. Thankfully, cigarettes, anything. So I'm just like, okay, that's a good thing. But of course, when you're living in shared environments like apartment buildings or condo complexes, townhome complexes, you can't help but sometimes have neighbors like that. And of course, yes, while you see these things going on, the only thing that you can do, of course, if it's smoking, a place is burning down, call that fire department. That's all you can do. Yes, while you may try to get upset at the person, go off, wanted to send them to rehab, do all these things, they have to make that decision. And it's not going to change because you ask them to. So like I said, I just want to bring this tea in the morning to y'all this morning because this hit home for me last night as we were having to call the fire department, having issues within the building that we cannot control. But the only thing you can control is what you can do, whether it's calling the fire department, leaving the building, that kind of thing. We are leaving in a few months, actually. So hopefully nothing. I'm hoping things will calm down for the next few months at least. And there's no actual fire to burn down the building while we're still there. I guess I put it that way. She may not understand that people are, of course, afraid, that kind of thing. The same in your household. If you have for somebody that's in your household that's on drugs or using alcohol, or somebody in your family, that kind of thing, they might not understand that you're afraid. Now, I can't say that they don't care. The drugs, the addiction, their focus on getting more, getting the next high, getting the next drink, that kind of thing. That's all they're focused on. They may not understand. I can't say they don't care. So, to some extent, that's what it looks like to us. They don't care about what's going on within the household because they're trying to get their next high. I had to understand that. My parents used to steal money from me at times. And I had other family doing the same thing as well. So I had to understand it's not me, it's the addiction that's causing their brain chemicals to function just high, drink. I guess I put it that way. So like I said, you have to take it upon yourself since we know that they're not going to change because you ask them to. And I'm speaking to those who are going through this situation this morning. You have to figure out what's best for you. Even if it's a mental illness, it's a similar thing. If you cannot deal with that mental illness or that addiction, then you have to figure out what you need to do. Yes, while you can plant seeds all day, your health and your liability and that kind of thing sits with you, not with the other person. You cannot control them. So like I said, I want to bring you this message this morning. I hope that this helps somebody out there, I guess I put it that way, who may be dealing with an addiction in the family, or even, I should have put mental illness as well, but mental illness or addiction in the family, or your friends, or your environment that you're dealing with, and you're not sure what to do. There's only so much you can do until that person who has the addiction or the mental illness get that help that they need. They have to see it as a problem first. You can't control them, regardless of how much that you want to do. I want to control people too. I tried, trust and believe. It did not work. So like I said, there's the only thing you can do is control yourself. Either get yourself out of that situation over time, if you can work that out with your finances, find a place to stay, that kind of thing, and leave them to their own life, I guess I put it that way. They have to figure out how to fend for themselves, and once they hit that rock bottom and I have no place to stay, yes, it may be horrible to see those folks on the street, whatever else. They have to decide that. I've seen that happen in my own family and to us. Growing up, we were evicted a few times out of apartments because of my parents' inability to pay, because the money was going to the drugs or alcohol, wherever else it was going to. So like I said, you have to realize, as a kid, of course, I couldn't do much about it, but as an adult, best believe I made sure that I did not either be in a relationship with anybody who had any drug or alcohol addiction at all. If they told me they drunk a lot, I just can't be with you. Or you smoke a lot, smoke cigarettes, I don't deal with anybody smoking at all. Like I said, those are my non-negotiables. Those are my boundaries, I guess I put it that way. And the person I'm talking to does not have to respect that. I have to respect that if I want to live that type of lifestyle. And if I don't want that in my environment. They don't care. They don't have to. I have to make that decision. No matter how hard it hurts to leave somebody or to let them be to their own vices or whatever the case may be, or to ask them to leave your household, or you leave the household if they can't leave, or whatever the situation is, you have to decide what's best for you and what you can handle. Yes, I know they say God doesn't put much on us that we can handle or something like that, but you have to decide what's your livelihood or theirs. Whether you're going to live their nightmare or live your own life. In nightmare, I guess I put it that way. Or good mare, whatever the word is. But like I said, you have to decide that. Whether you're living your life for them or for yourself. Yourself should always come first. So like I said, again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. This video is talking about addiction in the family or environment or with your coworkers, whoever it is. Addiction just all around. And the things that you have to think about as well is when it comes to things like that. And keeping yourself safe and keeping your boundaries respected, I guess I put it that way, to as much as you can. And taking care of yourself first and foremost. So with that, I want to say thank you for tuning in. This is Tonetta, your certified life coach. I help you, of course, I inspire you to, of course, think bigger and empower you to become who you are. So with that, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. If you all need any resources, you can always DM me or click the link in the bio for more information on the resources that I offer y'all. Or if not, like I said, just DM me as well. You'll get it there too. And you can also talk to me as well. So with that, I want to say thank y'all for tuning in. And I hope somebody out there that's going through this understand this video this morning. Like I said, if you need more help and assistance, you can always send me a DM, y'all. Take care, y'all, and have a great and blessed day.